Hadoop, these things are doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like dynamically they change. Let's say you have A and B now, and
Mm-hmm.
you're adding slave C.
Uh-huh.
So that bookkeeping should go and be stored there.
Right,
I
right.
think, on an architecture level, we could have like something like that. Right?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah. When we create a new node, right now it adds it to the cloud resource manager, which is running here. Yeah, so we definitely want to keep track of that.
I think even in the paper it mentioned that we can do fault tolerance, right?
Right, right.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So all of these machines, you already made them before, and then you shut them down, and then when you want to run the code, you turn them on, or you generate them after you need them. The difference is that if you generate them after you need them, you have to install all of the codes that you need for that job.
Okay, very good question. Excellent question, Nassim. So, in order to avoid all that enormous amount of work of having to install everything here and here and here, we can create an image that contains view and database with all the tables and specifications in it, and all the environment variables, and SSH server running because you have to accept SSH calls, and Tomcat, and everything in Java. So that image will create everything, and when we create a VM node, when we create virtual machine, you all played with cloud, you have to specify the image. So we just specify our image, and it already has a username and password, which right now is hard-coded. Username is view, password is system. So all my nodes have, like all the nodes that are created have this, just by default, it's hard-coded everywhere. Just because of time. And yeah, so that image is residing in the cloud, and but like I said, if the user logs in and updates his workflow, that update is not in the image, obviously. So that's why we need to synchronize these specifications.
So there is an image that when you always turn on all of these virtual machines, you put that image there. So if the specification of your virtual machine is different from the before that you made the image, then what? Because we have some different kind of virtual machines.
Yes, very good question. Another very good question. So you're running biomedical imaging. You have some software that you need to use, the Flare or something else. So obviously I don't have that in the other, the generic image. So for that reason, our cloud resource manager keeps track of component type, for example, Flare or something. And or how does maybe it's the other way on. It's like the image ID and the map of all the software components. For example, Apache Mahout, which is a library, and all the components that are part of this image.
Okay.
And so when you schedule the workflow, Cloud Resource Manager, or in order to provision these machines, it will look at every single component here, and find out, okay, what software does the node need to have to run that component? And based on that, it will go to this map. So let's say this is image 1, this is image 2, some, I don't know, physics, for example.
So you also manage your images. You have a list of images. Each one is different. If you search all the images, you cannot find that particular one you're looking for, then it's time for you to create another image, I think.
Right, yeah.
I think you might need to give another tutorial on how to create an image. Because
It's very simple. I
Really?
can just show you.
I know.
You know already?
Basically,
Yeah,
in Amazon,
Because in the past, Amazon is easy, but for some
yeah.
Eucalyptus is very difficult.
Which one?
We use Future Grid. I think I use
Eucalyptus or OpenStack or Nimbus?
I
Yeah.
think it was Eucalyptus.
Yeah.
It was like 2 years ago that I worked.
And you were able to create your image?
Yeah, I could create, but the only problem was that when we couldn't run the workflow on
Yeah.
that because we couldn't open the port on that virtual machine to access to the view on that. That was the problem that we emailed them.
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
was the problem.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
Suppose our workflow is partitioned to three part A, B, and C.
Uh-huh.
You submit the part A to slab A, and then B to slab B.
Mm-hmm.
Then in that time, suppose slab A is free now
Mm-hmm.
for part C.
Mm-hmm.
Can you send the part C of the workflow to the slab A, or
Right.
and you don't have this type of
Um,
managing virtual machines?
A Heft scheduler decides that. I don't remember how Heft, if Heft does the repetitive thing or not. But,
We decided before executing, decided, okay, part A, for example, D and F of the workflow goes to the slab A
yes,
before running.
yes, that's what Heft does. So,
this is
yeah, but if we want to
Static.
implement another scheduler, we can do that in Vue if you want. So,
Can I add another question?
please.
So, think about it that you have like 60, 100 images that you want to process.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that virtual machine that you have, does it have that power to, like, think about that you have 100 users that they
Mhm.
want to use your machine right now.
Uh-huh.
So, if all of them schedule
Mhm.
running their workflow, do you think that that, like you said that one machine, for example, it has the flare that I want to
Mhm.
run. So, is that machine, does it have that capability of running like 100 tasks simultaneously?
Well, we need to differentiate between machine images and machines themselves. So there's an image that contains the software, but there's no machine yet. So,
That's just a type,
So you can.
image type.
I understand, now I understand. So it means that, for example, for each images,
Mhm.
you can, or for each tag, you will send one image to one machine and then run it on that machine. And then for another task, like if another person specify another workflow, you
Mhm.
send it to another machine. It's like that?
I'm not sure if wait, you have an answer?
Yeah, she's asking, do you know her question is?
I'm not sure, like, if multiple users are running.
The
and
same
there's
task on the same machine, right?
One allocate, I haven't thought about that, I don't know. Maybe you can help us with your parallel running task. Yeah, I haven't thought about multiple users using the same
Machine.
machines for different workflows.
No.
I don't know.
No,
No.
even if they don't wanna, maybe like, multiple people, they use this, like your workflow for
Mhm.
running the different workflows, okay? So
Right.
think about it that, like 100 users, they wanna submit their jobs at the same time.
Mhm.
Can be, like, your workflow, does it have this power to generate 100, like the same virtual machine, but
Mm.
it's on 100 machines? You
The same
understand?
virtual machine on 100 machines?
Because the same virtual machine, because
The
like
same image?
the
of
same
virtual-
image
virtual machine.
on different virtual machines, like 100 virtual machines. Does it have this power to do that?
Well, you mean create 100 virtual machines
With the
based
same image?
from this image?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's the idea of cloud computing, right? Of course,
yeah.
yeah.
of
So
course,
it has this specification that can do that.
Yeah, cloud can do
Copy of-
this.
that's
yeah.
what a cloud means.
It's not about cloud, it's about the view, that view should have this power to generate 100 virtual machines
That's,
Yeah.
on,
It's like does you have the power to SSH from here to here? Well, that's part of Linux to SSH. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of writing a line of code. So it is definitely possible. Right now, multi-user is not implemented yet. So I don't know, but it would not be. I think it's technically totally possible
okay,
to do that.
okay.
okay.
If you want, I can go to your questions.
Oh, I just had one question regarding the data product, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I also sent in the email too. So the data product, when you are passing it from the
Uh-huh.
master node to slave node, I mean, if we have a huge data product,
Mhm.
so is that like a expensive operation
Okay, very
for the
good.
data movement?
Very good question. So basically, it is expensive operation. yeah, it does take time. And so if we have two virtual machines, VM1 and VM2, there's two ways at least to send a big data product from here to here. One is just to send it over SCP. The other one, which we thought of in this paper, was to create an EBS volume. EBS, you probably know is Amazon's terminology, EC2 terminology, which is like basically additional hard drive that is attached to VM, then saves that big data product here when it is being produced by the workflow, then detach it from this one, and then attach it to here. And then once you do that, this large file will be visible from this machine as if it's a local hard drive.
Mhm.
So, and this is faster and easy. Like this is faster than just to send it over the network.
Why it is faster?
The Amazon does not disclose the underlying architecture and implementation of this. I just ran the experiments, measured, and it's faster if you want to look in the paper. I put the graphs there that show the times. So.
But
Well,
you know why it is
one
faster?
reason is because the data will just send over a local network without go through a router or another gateway. For example, all those disk or machine are in the same rack, which you don't need to go through a router. Sometimes the data go from one node to the other node. You need to go through the router of the rack and then go to the router of the whole, local network and so on. So you need to go through several routers. But in this case, probably not, because assuming these two machines are geographically, in the same record or something.
Or it could be a same machine which has two VMs in it.
Yeah.
That would be
That's
more faster.
that's even faster.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So it's a co-location of two virtual machines.
Yeah. Data locality.
But these are ideas against the dynamic scheduling. Once you have a more virtual